You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel, and in this huddle, baby, we're going to talk about the undefeated number 9 Florida Gators taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels up in Charlotte for the Jumpman Invitational on December 17th at 7 p.m. on ESPN. UNC is coming off of a 93-67 win over LaSalle that saw Cade Tyson explode for 23 points on 9 for 14 shooting from the field, to include 5 for 10 from behind the arc. So that was an obvious welcome sight for a Tar Heel team that was hoping Tyson would consistently be able to connect from deep. The question is, when the Heels play stiffer competition, can Cade put up similar type numbers? Now, as good as Cade looked, RJ is still struggling to find it from deep. My man finished the game 4 for 11 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3 to finish with 13 points. And the Heels finished 11 for 23 from the free throw line, which was good for 47.8%. That is terrible, and it's something to definitely keep an eye on. You do not get away with those numbers when you're playing better competition. Now, the Gators are coming off of an 83-66 win over Arizona State, where Walter Clayton Jr. hit 5 threes on his way to a game-high 25 points. The victory moves Florida to 10-0 for the first time in a decade. Now, the Heels, they basically only have 2 more possible non-conference Q1 type basketball games remaining on the schedule. This game, number 9 Florida, and number 24 UCLA on the 21st. So this is an extremely important game for the Heels tournament hopes, as there will not be many other opportunities inside of ACC play for the Heels to get quality wins for their resume. So let's dig into this one, man. The Florida Gators are led by head coach Tom Golden, who is 47-29 in his 3rd year at UF. He has an NCAA first-round appearance with the Gators last year, and he also had a first-round appearance with San Francisco back in 2021-2022. The Gators' leading scorer and assist man is the 6'3", 195-pound senior guard Walter Clayton Jr., who's averaging 19.1 points per game, 3.2 boards, and 3.6 assists. He's shooting 47.5% from the field, 37.5% from 3, and he's also a 92.3% free throw shooter. The guy is a scorer. Their leading rebounder is the 6'11", 230-pound sophomore forward Alex Condone, who is averaging 7 boards, 12.2 points, and 1.6 assists per game. He's shooting 54.9% from the field and 50% from 3. Now, the good guys, the North Carolina Tar Heels, are led by head coach Hubert Davis, who is in his 4th year at the University of North Carolina and has a 84-35 record at UNC. He has 2 Sweet 16 appearances and a 2022 National Championship game appearance under his belt. Carolina's leading scorer is a 6', 180-pound senior guard R.J. Davis, who is averaging 17.6 points per game, 4 boards, and 4.3 assists. He's only shooting 35.2% from the floor and a staggering 25% from 3. It's crazy to see those numbers coming from RJ. We're 10 games in already, but he is shooting 86.5% from the stripe. Now, the Heels' leading rebounder is a 6'10", 235-pound junior forward, Jalen Washington, who's averaging 5 boards, 6 points, and 0.3 assists per game. He's shooting 54.5% from the field and only 57.1% from the charity stripe. And the Heels' leading facilitator is a 6'1", 180-pound sophomore point guard, Elliot Cadeau, who's averaging 5.6 assists, which is pretty good, but he's also averaging 3.1 turnovers, which is not very good. That's 1.81 assists to 1 turnover average, under 2 to 1. And like I've stated over and over and over and over and over again, 2 to 1 is the bare minimum of a good assist to turnover ratio. He is averaging 11.5 points per game and 3.7 rebounds while shooting 44.2% from the field. And his three-point shooting percentage has dropped once again to 25.9% from three. And he is shooting 74.4% from the free throw line. And now that we've looked at the individual statistics, let's take a look at the team statistics in this one. And we can see that the offensive numbers are similar with Carolina and Florida because Carolina averages 86.8 points per game. Florida averages 86.2 points per game. However, the Gators are defending at a much better clip by only allowing 65.1 points per game compared to UNC's 78.7 points per game. Florida has a higher field goal percentage. They average more rebounds. They average more assists. And they average more blocks per game. So now that we've looked at the team statistics, let's get into Russ's 3 keys to a Tar Heel victory. And key number 1 is this, man. Charity stripe. North Carolina was abysmal from the free throw line against the Explorers of LaSalle last game. However, EC and RJ need to continue to attack the basket and draw contact with the hopes of getting to the line. When they get there, they have got to convert. You cannot shoot under 50% from the free throw line against a top 10 team in the country and expect to walk away with a W. Carolina's offense has not been the prettiest thing to watch night in and night out. I don't think that that's just my own observations, right? So as getting as many free ones, if you will, that's going to go a long way. The only thing is, when you get those free ones, you better stinking knock them down. So key number 1, got to get to the charity stripe. Key number 2, where is Cade? Tyson's 23-point outburst against LaSalle was his first time scoring in a basketball game since scoring 2 points against Dayton back on November 25th. That's 5 games ago. The only other game he was in double figures this year was an 11-point game against American, which was a month ago. Can the Heels find Cade in the corner for some step-in threes to get him started? That's a question I have. Can he come out swinging against stiffer competition and an offense that has struggled to find efficient scoring? Getting Tyson going could be the difference in Carolina keeping this one competitive. Let's see if we found some offense and work him into the game plan. It kind of seems like Cade is one of those guys that's got to play and he's got to stink and get going. So let's see if we can get Cade in the game plan. And key number 3, ball security. EC had a much more efficient game, having 7 assists to only 1 turnover against the Explorers. And despite only scoring 4 points, it was good to see Cadeau a little more assertive and less careless with the basketball. Carolina cannot waste possessions in this basketball game if they want to come out on top. So my 3rd key to the game, not rocket science. You got to protect the basketball. And Carolina, up until that LaSalle game, had been really, really bad. So hopefully they've kind of turned the corner on that one, man. And that'll take us to the prediction portion of the show. Now, the ESPN matchup indicator gives the North Carolina Tar Heels a 50.2% chance at giving the Gators their first defeat of the season, which basically means it's a toss-up game. This one is an extremely important game for the North Carolina Tar Heel basketball program and their resume for the NCAA tournament. They are currently only 1-4 in Q1 games, and they rank 36th in the net. So their one win is against the Dayton Flyers, and we really don't know exactly where they're going to end up. So Carolina desperately needs another Q1 victory. Now the question for me is, how well does Carolina shoot the ball inside of the Spectrum Center. RJ is still struggling with his efficiency as he continues to miss step-in threes, man. These are the same shots that my guy was absolutely draining last year. And until a guy like Cade Tyson can show some consistency, if you will, you really don't know what type of offense you're going to get from him. Carolina attempted to throw the ball down low to Van Allen Lubin for the first time this season, and what was an apparent attempt to generate some sort of low post game, they definitely need to continue to do that. Lubin finished in double figures with 10 points, but will that be enough to offset UNC's poor shooting as a team? And they have been a poor shooting team. They're going to have to show me, man. They are going to have to show me. When I pick these games, I try my best to set my fanhood aside, and I try to pretend like I put money on it, which, I'm not a gambler. I usually don't put money on things like that. But at this stage right now, man, I just don't trust my Heels right now to play efficient enough basketball. Cade Tyson's first points in 5 games. I want you to put that into perspective. 23-point outbursts, really good game, kind of came out of his shell. Those were his first points in 5 games, and that was basically the difference in Carolina beating LaSalle. Does Cade duplicate that, or are the Gators a little bit too much, man? I would honestly have to tend to say I think that the Gators are a little bit too much, man. I got the Gators in this one, 88, and the North Carolina Tar Heels, 82. I hate it, but it's where I'm at, bro. They've got to show me. Now, you guys know that doesn't mean that I'm pulling against the Heels. Of course not, bro. I'm pulling for the boys in Carolina Blue. But when I do these prediction shows, I'm trying to give you an honest assessment of what I see. So, live reaction and watch party for the game tomorrow at 7 p.m. December 17th. So come hang out with your boy as hopefully I'm eating crow and the Heels can get a huge quad 1 win. Shout out to my Huddle Hooligans who helped me keep the lights on. And shout out to Tar Heel Addict for correcting the price of the monthly member subscription. It's actually $4.99 a month, and you get access to the Tar Heel Discord. It's a great group of guys that enables us in a smaller capacity, if you will, to talk a little bit more intimately about UNC athletics throughout the day. So definitely consider becoming a member of the Huddle Hooligans, and I greatly appreciate all the support that you guys give to the channel. Comment down in the comment section what you think about the Heels and Gators, man. Can the Heels get it done? If you're coaching, you tell me what lineup you're going with or what lineup changes you want to make. Is this even a tournament team? In your honest assessment and your honest opinion, man, let me stinking know. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe to the channel. It is always a great day to be a Tar Heel, and we'll catch you guys on the 17th for the live reaction and watch party, baby. Go Heels.